Hey everyone, welcome to episode 115 of Let's Platinum and 100% Batman Arkham Knight. Alright, so just like last episode, these last two episodes, like this one and the next one, are going to be post-commentary because this stuff is hard as hell. So, yeah, prepare to hopefully be amazed. Okay, so first trophy in the combat challenges. Essentially what you have to do is complete all 4 rounds of Crime Alley with Batman, Robin, and Nightwing without being hit. That is the requirement for this trophy. You cannot be hit. In order, to know that you haven't been hit, you'll notice here on the left, I get a no hit bonus there. It was quick, but it was there in the middle, towards the bottom. You get a no hit bonus. If you get that no hit bonus, it means that you haven't been hit. And also, if you don't want to worry about making sure that you had a no hit bonus, you can wait until the final round. Like for example, if you've been doing the rounds and you're up to the last round and you finish it, and you look at it, if you have a perfect night bonus, then it means that you didn't get hit. Wow, I made some really good decisions in this one. Leaping on top of that guy with double X was a very good decision. Believe it or not, Batman is the hardest. Yeah, Batman and Robin are probably the hardest characters to do this with. I'm not really sure why. Nightwing has an interesting ability that shocks everyone and puts them all in a stun state, but to be honest, I didn't even use that much. For some reason, Batman is the one that I had the most trouble with. Oh, there's also the fact that you'll notice that there's an enforcer, which is that big guy that I'm attacking now. He doesn't appear, or he appears less frequently in Robin's version of this, so there's that. I wish I could give a recommendation of what to do, but the best thing I can say is just take out the enforcers first, so those are the big guys, then the medics, and then the ninjas. If you take them out in that order, you've got a little bit more of a chance. Also, I didn't use it in this one, but you could probably use the smash and destroy combo, which is square and triangle. You'll notice there, I just hit that car door and it broke my combo. In this particular challenge, it doesn't matter if your combo breaks. All that you have to prevent is yourself from getting hit. If you can do that, then you'll get the trophy. But yeah, that's the best thing I can say is just try and prevent yourself from getting hit, and smashing the car door is actually a really good idea because it causes you to to get hit so many times. Yeah. This final round is the hardest, of course. There are 2 enforcers. You also want to watch out for these guys with the guns if they hit you. If they start shooting, they haven't got the best chance in the world for hitting you. I think out of the maybe 5 or 6 times that I let them pull the trigger, only one of those went through. So it's, what's that, a 15% chance? Well, let's just say 8 and we'll make it 12.5%. Out of the 8 times that they pulled the trigger, they only hit me once. So it's a 12.5% chance to hit you. So it's not too bad, but you do want to concern yourself with that as well. You want to make sure that you're on top of that. The biggest annoyance of this challenge is that I think after spending so much time doing this probably took me 2 hours to do. And I mean, the whole thing takes 5 minutes if you do it perfectly the first go. The worst thing about this challenge was that I feel like the game cheats. The ninjas, especially, when they use their blades to attack you, they tend to... I got pretty lucky there to get that ground pound off. They tend to sometimes swing really, really, really fast, giving you absolutely no opportunity to counter. And then other times they tend to swing really, really slowly. So it goes all over the place. There's no pattern to it. Here I got so close to beating Sir Cam. Look at that. I was 900 away, or 830. Yeah, it was so frustrating to get this done, but once it was done, I was like, thank God. The next ones came a little bit easier, but not that much easier. All right, so here's Crime Alley again with Robin. So we're just gonna wait for this to load. Yeah, I probably should have cut this out, but anyway, yeah, it's so frustrating. It's so unbelievably frustrating. It took me, I think, like 3 days, the course of 3 days to get these episodes recorded and done. Just because, you know, I would always die and get hit, and it's just a nightmare. Funnily enough, if you can get these ones done, I actually think that the next bunch of characters and the next trophy is actually easier than this one. So I kind of want to explain it now, but I think I'll explain it when we get to it, because it will be in this episode anyway. So I guess I'll just explain that when I get to it. So here you can see Robin has an enforcer on round 2, but I think in the next round Batman had an enforcer as well, but Robin has no enforcer in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Again, a good way to start round... Is this round 2? Yeah, a good way to start round 2 is go for the enforcer. Always go for the enforcer. Just like keep smashing him down with square. Turn your camera so you can get one of the enemies to attack you. If it's a knife enemy, I recommend just jumping over him. If it's an enemy with like a stun baton, definitely jump over him. I think that's the only thing you can do. And if it's an enemy that's about to punch you, just time your counter correctly, and then you can keep punching the big enforcer. Yeah, okay, so here there's no enforcer, which kind of makes things a little bit easier, but not like 100% so. It's just the way it is. It's still difficult because you have to remember the fact that, like, if there's no enforcer, that generally means that Robin is a little bit weaker than Batman, and he's like a little bit weaker than Batman. But I think that his strength outweighs the loss of the enforcer, if that makes sense. So, for example, if the enforcer was there, it would most certainly be harder. But because he's not there, it's slightly easier. If you make like a direct correlation with his strength and the fact that there's an enforcer there. Very risky to go for ground pounds. I only do it because I'm an idiot and I like to try and bulk up the score for no reason. But yeah, it is risky to go for ground pounds. Is this the final round? Yeah, this is the final round. So this is round 4. Again, no enforcer. There are 2 medics, so you want to focus on them. The good thing about the medics, though, is that well, I say the good thing, but I actually screwed up a few times because of that myself. They use like their like stun, not stun baton. They use like this electricity and put it on a goon or a thug or an enemy. And if you press L2 and triangle with and then follow up with, well, if you're playing with Batman, you can follow that up with a bat claw slam to remove the electricity. You'll be seeing a lot of that in the next episode or the final episode. You can use the bat claw slam to remove. Well, you can use the bat claw to remove their electricity, and you can use the bat claw slam to actually deal with them pretty effectively. For Robin, he can only use his zip kick, so it uses the bat claw essentially, and still removes their electricity. Here I was getting really tense because I was like, come on, I'm almost done, I just have to take out these 2 guys. Oh, 3 apparently. And then once I got to this point, I was like, yes, I have it. Yeah, but that guy would not stay down. He got up so many times. Yeah. Alright, and that's Robin's one done. I didn't actually show it or mention it before, but let me point it out. But there's Perfect Night at the bottom there. Gives you, can't really tell, I think that's 5,000 points. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Robin's one. And now finally Nightwing. Alright, so Nightwing, as I said, for me, probably the easiest of the lot. It's really hard to say. I feel like he was the easiest because it took me the least amount of time to actually succeed in this challenge. But, still pretty difficult, or still very difficult. And again, that whole like luck-based thing well, not luck-based thing, but the fact that like the game seems to cheat. So, for example, I guess I'll talk about that now. Anytime there's like the car doors, anytime there's the knives that the enemies have, like the ninjas there with their knives, and them with the yellow counter thing to inform you that you could use a blade dodge takedown. Also, that's another thing. I'd recommend not using blade dodge takedowns. If you're really, really good at them, go ahead. I can pull them off, but not consistently. I never understood the timing for the final triangle press. I know that you have to hold like the thumbstick away from the enemy, hold triangle, and then at the last second, like on the final swing, you have to press triangle in order to activate it. It's a really good move to do, because if you can take down an enemy using a blade dodge takedown, you get 100 points. Like, it's good for points, but there's no real reason to use it if all you're trying to do is not get hit. But yeah. Also, this is an interesting thing. Some of the enemies can use, what is it? Like, they can try and grab you with their, like, how that guy's flashing blue. They'll try and grab you, and then you have to press square a couple times to get out of their grasp. I actually love it when that happens, especially if you're going for a high score, because well, even if you're not going for a high score, if you're just going for what I'm going for here, which is not getting hit. I got really unlucky there to miss that hit, but oh well. What was it? If you're not going, even if you're going for not getting hit, or you're going for high scores, that's a really good one to get, because you can avoid it. Even if you miss the triangle press, you're not going to take a hit, so you're not going to take damage. And if you don't, you get a whole bunch of like hits in. Again here, like, there we go. That was an example of the guy firing the gun, and then I was like, come on, let me attack him, get him out of the way. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, you can also use the back claw thing there to jump over him. I don't know if there's a way to take out the enforcer when he has the or to attack the enforcer when he has the electric hands. I mean, you can use your takedown. You can definitely use the takedown to take him down. Once you've done that twice, he'll go down. But if he's got electric hands, I don't think you can like punch him. You'll get hit essentially every time, and you'll take damage, and therefore ruin your no hit thing. Wow, did it really take me that much longer to get through this? I'm just looking at the timeline, and there's still like 15. It's like a minute worth of. Oh, this must be the third one then. Yeah, that's what it is. This is the third one. I thought this was the fourth round already. So was there was an enforcer there. So yeah, okay, here we go. Fourth round. That was weird. Okay, yeah, so Nightwing is sort of back to the difficulty of what Batman had. Again, another tricky round. These are always the hardest, as I said. I got pretty lucky there. I managed to get into a position that allowed me to take down the medic, and also use a slight beatdown on the other medic to try and get him like already started. And then I took him down as well. Once both of those guys were down, I knew that my next priority was the enforcers, so I just worked on getting the takedowns up. It's frustrating because there's not too much like extra information I can give. Like, there's nothing that I can say that's going to work flawlessly every single time. This is all I can really say, is like just take down the enemies in a particular pattern based on their difficulty and the amount of challenge that they're going to provide to you in terms of, potentially ruining your run. Jump over the blade dodge takedowns because they're just too frustrating. I don't know how I missed that one. I thought I was going to get hit there for sure. Also, the big enforcers, they move like really fast. Like, that was the other thing I was talking about where it cheats. Sometimes they'll move like extremely fast, giving you no opportunity whatsoever to counter or get away. Other times they'll move really slow, and that goes for everything. It goes for like the people with the small blades, the ninjas with the long blades, the enforcers with their punches, the car doors, everything. And there we go, the chill in the air. In my opinion, that is the hardest trophy in the game. which is good because it means that these next trophies aren't as bad. So now as we go on to the next one, we need to go to the Monarch Theatre, as we are doing here with Batman, and we need to get, we have to get a flawless free flow combo in every single round. Now I know what you're thinking, how is that any easier than no hit? Or how is that easier than no hit? The main reason that I think it's easier than the no hit one is because the variety of enemies that you get in these two maps. So you'll notice here with Batman, I've got, what is this, like 6 goons, and they have nothing. So there's no pipes, there's no knives, there's no stun batons, there's no car doors, nothing, just 6 goons. No enforcers, nothing. Which makes that first round basically a given. All you have to do is do a nice perfect free flow using whatever you want and you're good. This next round, they introduce 1 enemy with a knife and a medic. That's not much to deal with, pretty simple. So that alone, those 2 first rounds alone, make this challenge a lot easier. You can choose to do this any way you want. I kind of mixed things up a lot. I was playing very differently all the time. You can see there I used the Batarang takedown to get like some enemies down quickly. You can do that. You can go for different things. Here, the 3rd round, still no enforcers. We've got 1 medic and 2 stun batons. And the good thing is you can use... Batman is actually the best character for this one. He's the easiest one to do it with because he has the smash and destroy takedown. So I highly recommend if you have your takedown up, even on this round, use smash and destroy to get rid of the batons. Once you've got rid of them, you only have to take out the medic, which you might actually want to do first. And once you've done that, you're pretty much good to go. So that's why I think this one's easier, is because the first 3 rounds, like I almost never failed on the first 3 rounds. At least not with Batman. Like with some of the other characters I did a little bit because I got not complacent, it was just that it didn't really work out for me what I was trying to do. So essentially with Batman, you can get to the 4th round almost every time. Now the 4th round is a little different. 4 enforcers, but they're not armored, so you only need to use 1 takedown to take them down, and 2 medics, and a whole lot of car doors. My advice, and this is again another reason why I like this one, why I think it's easier. Take down the enforcers and the medics, whichever order you want. I think that maybe the enforcers are a little bit more dangerous than the medics. So enforcers, then medics, and then smash and destroy the car doors, and you're pretty much good from there. I can't remember if there's anyone with knives. I'm just looking here trying to see if there's anyone with knives. There might be. If there's someone with knives, smash and grab those as well, or smash and destroy. I keep saying smash and grab. Yeah, and that will make life so much easier. Because remember, in this one, you cannot be hit, and you also cannot have your combo broken. So, and since those 2 things are essentially, like, they go hand in hand, right? I can't think of the term that I want to use right now. They're essentially the same thing. You can be, if you're hit during a combo, then your combo breaks. The only other way that you can potentially lose is having something happen to your combo by accident, which is like, for example, if you press punch in the wrong direction or whatever, and Batman doesn't do what you want. And that has happened to me a couple of times. Here I was like, okay, I'm almost done. I just have to keep the thing. Again, this last round cheats as well. Sometimes even the enemies without weapons and stuff will come up to you real quick, punch you and take you out. And that's really, really frustrating. But there you go. I mean, like, that one, no kidding, that one took me less than an hour to do. On, like, as soon as I started, to get this footage that you're watching right now, less than an hour. So I felt that one was much, much easier than Crime Alley. And essentially, it's just based on the fact that there are so few, like, threats throughout the whole thing. Okay, Robin. Now, again, similar thing with Robin in comparison to Crime Alley. In the final round, there's only 2 enforcers instead of 4, so it makes his life a little bit easier. However, he doesn't have smash and destroy, which makes it much harder. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. I did these all in approximately 1 sitting. I think it took me a good 3 hours maybe to get them done, 2 to 3 hours of playing. That was really good. I got two. I went risky here. I pressed circle, 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 and then did R2 triangle, which can really cause problems. I highly recommend not doing that at all, or even on just the first round, especially with Catwoman. I did it once with Catwoman and I couldn't get it to work as well as I could with Robin. So definitely A, recommend not doing it at all, or B, if you're going to do it on the first round so you don't have to do as much repeat stuff. Here I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button, or I must have pressed square along with triangle, I think. Also, you'll notice that I did a blade dodge. I didn't do the takedown, but I did the dodge. That is another way to get away from those guys. For those who don't know, you can do, in order to do a blade dodge takedown, you have to hold, like I said earlier, you have to hold the left thumbstick back and then hold triangle in order to dodge the blades. And then at the end, you can press triangle once, and if you've timed it correctly, you'll do a blade dodge takedown. But if you just keep holding triangle all the way until the final move, you'll dodge the final swipe, and then you'll be able to continue your combo from there. So that's another like sort of little bit of useful information, but you probably already knew that. If you're doing these, you probably know how to do all the tricks and everything like that. Again, Robin's third round, nothing too tricky. 1 medic, 2 sun batons, as I said. This one just makes it so much easier. Yeah. This, I mean, it's frustrating. It's one of those things like where, and it happens almost every time. Anytime you complete something difficult in a video game, when you watch yourself do it again, or if you just remember doing it, you remember it as not being as hard as you think. Like, no one looks at Batman Arkham City and goes, oh yeah, that was a hard game. But then if you platinumed it and 100%ed it, you'd be like, no, hang on, that was a hard game. We had to do every single Predator map and every single Challenger map, and we had to get 3 coins for everything. That was hard, especially the Predator challenges, because there's no way to like cheese them with one of the takedowns that you could do. So yeah, these games are very challenging. I have no idea how that did not hit me. I got very lucky. Another thing on this round to make sure you're doing is constantly jump. Like, try and keep jumping over enemies. Even when you're like in the middle like this, just keep jumping. Mainly because there seems to be, like, again, it's one of those like bits where it cheats. If you're not jumping in the air, I think the game, like, I don't know how that car door didn't hit me. Nine times out of 10, that car door guy would have hit me, but for some reason it didn't hit me, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, you just have to keep jumping. It's annoying because you can't like do any damage like that. You have to essentially jump, press square once, jump, press square once. But it's the best way I found to kind of get like a good to survive and not be hit here. Yeah. The other thing is, what is annoying, like, you see how many guys I took out that had the car doors. Like, I'm taking out with aerial attacks. I'm being pretty risky there by doing it so close to other enemies, but I got pretty lucky. The worst part is that once you've done it, like, the other enemies will pick up the car doors as well. Also, I highly recommend not using these special combo takedowns with like the floodlights in the back. The main reason for that is because more than once, probably like 5 times, what happened was I would use that and it would give me like a whole bunch of points and everything, which is great. There's perfect free flow. There's no way to tell if you've done perfect free flow through the whole round with any of the bonuses. So you'll have to keep track of that per round, by the way. But yeah, what would happen is I would use the special combo takedown. The game would zoom in like really, really close. And then I wouldn't be able to tell where any of the enemies were. So if I chose to press like a direction and then press double X, for example, to jump in that direction, I might just jump towards them, and then if I did it again, I would jump again, and that would ruin my combo, because I wouldn't be close enough to any of the enemies to actually jump over them for the game to go like, oh, okay, there's an enemy there, jump over them now. And then the other thing was, if you press like square to try and punch them, and like, let's say for the most part, if you're pressing a direction and you're pressing square, your character is going to go straight direct towards them. But what if that person has a car door? On that fourth round, if that person has a car door, bang, your combo's done and you're done for. So I highly recommend, as tempting as it is, especially on the enforcers, like because you can actually smash the enforcers down on there. As tempting as it is, I recommend not doing it. I may have done it in Catwoman or Nightwing's one that's coming up, but I really don't recommend doing it. It is very dangerous. That's another thing I don't know if I talked about. Does Catwoman, when she does one of the combos, and I'll point it out when she does it again, I'm pretty sure I've done it another time, does she like pull the goon towards her, kiss them, and then like take them down? Or does she get like really close but that doesn't actually touch lips? It's kind of weird. I mean, she's that kind of character. I wouldn't put it past her. It's just like, it was so weird when I noticed that. I was like, what? Yeah. So like I said, this one, in my opinion, nowhere near as difficult as the Crime Alley one. Even though a lot of the guides tend to say that this is the hardest trophy. I think on first glance it does look like that, but when you take into account the enemies, it makes life a lot easier. Take him down, triangle, beautiful. Yeah, this took a long time, long time. I'm happy though that it's finally done now. I have basically, 100% Batman now entirely, all the platinum and all the trophies for the DLC. I don't know if there's any more DLC coming out. I hope there's not, in a way. I think we're finally done. I guess what I can do is I can give like a mini review of this pack. While I do appreciate that, that's actually another thing I should mention. There's no enforcers on Catwoman's final round, which makes things a little bit easier, but also, can be tricky as well. You can see how much I'm jumping around as well. Like I'm trying my best to avoid getting hit at all costs. You could probably use her like trip move as well, pressing, what is it? I think it's X and circle, and that trips everyone. But I don't know, it kind of works sometimes, and other times it doesn't. Anyway, to give a review, I believe that this community challenges pack, just based on the name, was developed by members of the community. They said, let's make a trophy like this, let's make a trophy like that. If that is true, you guys are crazy, absolutely crazy. These trophies were so freaking tough. I don't mind a challenge. Definitely, I don't mind a challenge. I mean, it's Super Meat Boy, so. But I like it to be fun. Like this, as fun as the combat is in this game, losing by doing one stupid little thing, or by having the game see how far he came and I still didn't get hit. That is one of the perfect examples of how this game cheats. Like, I don't like that stuff, and I'm not saying like make your game better, because I realize how difficult this would be to make in the first place. Like the fact that it's this good is already like a huge thing. So I completely understand there, but because it's not perfect, and there are those small issues where it like can sometimes take you out instantly, and other times takes it goes very quickly or it goes very slowly, and it confuses your muscle memory. That causes a huge amount of frustration, and like I'd say 99% of the times that I lost were because of those reasons, because the game just didn't interpret the actual enemy's movements towards me correctly, and it changed the speed of like what was happening. So the car door went and hit me, and I was just like, oh my god, give me a break. Like there's no way that would have hit me on a different go. So that's the main thing. Like the Predator challenges, I'm completely fine with those. I didn't think that they were too difficult. I thought they were like the perfect mix, and that's probably because the way that they design the Predator challenges are a little bit better. I have seen like people, essentially glitch those. Like even that particular stage has like a glitch on it, I think. Not a glitch, but like someone, I can't remember what they did. They used like the freeze cluster mine, I think that's what it was. And they kept using it over and over and over and over again. And because the time doesn't start until you take out one enemy, they like put all the enemies together and then use like a fear multi-takedown to take them all out in 3 seconds. So you could probably do some kind of like trick like that with those 50 enemies in a row. I didn't look up anything for these challenges, by the way. Like I didn't look up any guides or, well, nothing. Like I didn't go ahead out of my way to look if there was like some kind of trick. I didn't think there was in the first place. I did look at like tips, like on what to do, but nothing was was so amazing that was different from my own thoughts. So the next one, however, like the next episode, which will be a little bit shorter because it was a bit too long to fit in at the end of this episode, so I decided to make it its own episode. The next one I did enjoy for the most part. It was fun to do. Very difficult, definitely very difficult. But that one definitely I did look up like a few tips and tricks, and those tips and tricks were perfect, absolutely perfect. So that'll be fun to talk about in the next episode. But for this one, yeah, this is Nightwing's final round. As you can see, he only has 2 enforcers. Let me just make sure that that's true. 1, 2... Oh no, 3... No, I think he has 4, sorry. My bad. I think he has 4. Yeah, and that actually makes more sense. I don't know if I went for that medic. I actually just didn't pay a whole bunch of attention. If I didn't go for that medic, that was pretty lucky to get him. Alright, now I went for one of the enforcers. Get that and that. Okay, so I got the medics out of the way. Oh, no I didn't. There's still one here. But luckily I got that beat down on him. That was good. Make sure you go for like these. Also, if you're going, it doesn't really matter, but if you're going for the enforcers, make sure that you go for the ones that have electricity on their hands first, because there's like no way to beat them, I think, otherwise. Yeah. I think I've exhausted everything that I can possibly say about these challenges. I don't even know how I've managed to commentate on this whole thing. Part of me wanted to kind of just like say, look, here's the footage, you guys work it out. But the other part of me was like, nah, I should probably do some commentary on this one, especially because it was just so frustrating. I have no idea what happened there. I felt like I hit the car door and it didn't break my combo, so I was just like, okay, great. So I guess there was a little bit of luck on my part as well, like after rewatching this. Alright, there we go. That's it for Nightwing, and that's it for all the, well, every single trophy except for one, and that'll be in the next episode. So for the time being, there's the curtain falls. I want to thank you all for watching episode 115, I believe, of Let's Platinum and 100% Batman Arkham Knight. The next episode, the final trophy. So my name is Ultima456, and I will see you guys next time.